The modern healthcare system won't help you heal.
It's designed to keep you sick and dependent on drugs.
If you want to get well, you gotta get out of the system.
You found Predictive Health Clinic.
Join us as we get well and stay healthy.
Thanks for joining us, folks. It is the Predictive Health Clinic. My guest today is Dr. Shivani Gupta, who is the first I have ever had in any of the podcasts I have produced or hosted, and I've done hundreds. She is an Ayurvedic doctor. Shivani, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I am thrilled to have you. Now, I'm going to go slightly off script. Normally, question number one is, what one particular health issue do you want to address today? But before we do that, I would like you to give the listeners a quick description of why it's called Ayurvedic medicine. I think that's important.
Sure. So Ayurveda is an entire system of health and healing from India that's over 5,000 years old. And within that system of medicine, we teach preventive health. Our goal is to show you how to address circadian rhythm and sleep, address inflammation. Our focus is on your gut health and how gut health is the center of all health. We teach about detoxification. So much of what's coming out right now in modern day times around wellness is actually all rooted in ancient Indian medicine. And so I love teaching how Ayurveda gives us a pathway to building vibrant health using simple tools like spices and teas and lifestyle practices.
And that makes an awful lot of sense. It's, we have an old saying in the English-speaking world, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So let's prevent things. All right. Question number one, what is it you want to talk about today? One specific action do you want to recommend to our listeners that they take in order to either recover from or prevent a particular health issue?
Absolutely. I want to talk about inflammation and how inflammation is the root cause of so many of the issues we struggle with, whether it's metabolic disease, whether it's our chronic joint pain, whether it's this aging process that slows us down and causes us to not have the same energy levels we want. Inflammation truly is this root cause issue, and so many of us don't understand it, and so we're not addressing it.
Anybody who's spent any time in this particular podcast ecosystem knows that inflammation is really important. But let's assume that we've got some folks in the audience to whom this is a relatively new idea. Expand on that a little.
Sure. So we have something called acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. Acute inflammation is your body's natural response. Let's say I banged my elbow, my body's going to send inflammation there. It's going to send immune cells, all the healing cells that my body needs to heal this thing that I caused. But when it comes to that pain, it's going to cause pain, it's going to cause swelling, it's going to cause a lot of things in the process of trying to fix what happened. The thing is, a lot of us, due to a number of different issues we have going on, whether it's our gut health, whether it's our immune system being in overdrive, whether it's chronic stress, whether it's toxic burden, a lot of us have this environment in us where an inflammatory response can turn into chronic low-grade persistent inflammation. And that is the biggest problem that we're dealing with as a society, because that rampant inflammation that's wreaking havoc inside of us is kind of like a forest fire. It's just causing damage, and we don't even realize it until we see a symptom come along. I can't eat everything I want to eat. My digestive system's not working really well, or frequent headaches, or if we all of a sudden get joint pain, our hands hurt, our knees, our back, our hips, and we're like, oh, like, why is that pain not going away? It's been a month, it's been 2 months, it's been 3 months. That's a sign that the body's not just addressing it, the body's confused, the body's inflamed, and that inflammation is causing issues across the board.
In your work, what is, in your perception, is the biggest popular misconception about this issue of chronic inflammation?
I think a lot of people know that they're struggling with inflammation, whether they have autoimmune conditions, they've got their chronic joint pains and these things, but they've kind of given up. They say, you know what, I'm just aging. This is part of aging. It just sucks. And I hate when people say that, because It's truly inflammaging. It's that inflammation that's accelerating that pace of aging type symptoms. Yeah, as I age, my brain is changing. I've got some brain fog. Yeah, things hurt more. Yeah, I don't recover the same when I work out. All of that's true. But what people don't understand is you absolutely have a powerful toolkit to address inflammation. It starts with your fork, it starts with what you drink. Everything we're consuming is going to contribute to inflammation or take it away. And then also, we have many other toolkits we don't even reach for, which Ayurveda has to give.
I'm going to go off script again just because you said something that triggered this. My wife and I love Mexican food. We live in the desert Southwest and it's available all the time. We typically make it at home and we know what's in it and it's healthy. It's really good for us. She and I both had really busy days yesterday. She stopped at Del Taco on the way home and bought a bag of mini tacos, which we both have enjoyed a lot over the years. And after eating them, I deeply regretted it. I knew I didn't need to, but I was hungry, didn't have time to cook. She was hungry, didn't have time to cook. We did it. And we were talking this morning about our response. And it is both of us have the experience of it doesn't seem like this used to bother us this way.
Right.
And my suspicion, based on what I've learned with hosting these health shows, is that actually it's always affected me this way. It's just that it was so common. It didn't rise a bit, it didn't make enough of a difference to my base state of being that I was even conscious of it. Now
Sure.
that I've been eating a whole lot better the last several years, when I eat terrible stuff, it affects me the same way it always did. It's just that's no longer the base state. Does that make sense? Is that a valid, is there any validity to that explanation?
It does. It makes sense because, over these years, as I've presented on turmeric and all these things that I teach on, as we age, the science shows very clearly everything degrades in the body. Our mitochondria, our cellular health, our ability to clean and clear out what does not serve. Our gut microbiome, our gut lining doesn't have the same resilience. And so I have that thought sometimes too. I could eat Thai food out before. Now, why did I have such a strong reaction? Was it the MSG? What was it? And I truly think it's a lot of times the seed oils, those
Yeah.
inflammatory ingredients that they are adding, those chemicals. We just don't have the resilience to bounce back from it in 5 seconds like we used to and be fine within a few hours. Now the body says, I need a few days based on what you just did. And that slows us down, brain fog, gut off, all these issues happen. Sometimes sleep gets thrown off. And so as we age, we have to all of a sudden get better about our health, our food choices, all these things. Otherwise, we do pay a price, like what you just said.
Yeah. I'm still regretting it 24
Yeah.
hours later. So chronic inflammation, what's the truth? What's the truth about chronic inflammation?
The thing is, chronic low grade persistent inflammation is the forest fire that's wreaking havoc in us. And unfortunately, we don't catch it until it's too late. And that's the frustrating part. So many of us have one or two symptoms. Oh, I've got brain fog. Oh, my gut's off. Oh, something's not right. But the moment the body is communicating with you is the most important moment to pause and say, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And oftentimes we run to the doctor and they give us NSAIDs and those kinds of solutions.
Yep.
In Ayurveda, we have a completely different toolkit. We reach for sleep, we reach for gut health, we reach for spices like turmeric and all the natural approaches that we can use. I did my whole PhD dissertation on turmeric. So I'm very passionate about the power this one spice has to naturally reduce inflammation in the system, to be a powerful antioxidant, which is a very powerful anti-aging tool. And it's also immune modulating. So it's antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. It also gets rid of cells that don't belong. So to me, yes, inflammation is inevitable, but the choices we have early on to address it naturally are so powerful as well. And so it's just about that consciousness of bringing turmeric, ginger, boswellia, all these spices into your life so you can win at inflammation.
Again, most of the folks who hang around this health-based ecosystem understand the long-term effects if you don't do something about chronic inflammation. However, Let's articulate it. What's the likely outcome if you don't take action with chronic inflammation?
Heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, all the neurocognitive issues, dementia, everything that's metabolic, that's bad, that can happen to us. So diabetes is just one of them. Heart disease is, of course, a big one. Fatty liver. There's no organ in the body that can function well if inflammation is plaguing it. Inflammation causes this havoc inside of us. So if you want all of your organs to function well as you age, you have to address inflammation. So the punishment's actually really significant. Also, we lose all mobility. I've met thousands of people who can't walk, their back hurts. So that reduction of movement is actually pretty significant as well in the contribution of everything I just named. That's a big deal. If we can't stay moving, we're not going to burn calories, we're not going to keep mobility, we're not going to keep function. If we can't keep function, you've lost everything.
Yeah. All right, we come to the core of the matter. What specific action should our audience take to either recover from or prevent
My
this
number
negative
one
outcome?
recommendation. Sure. My number one recommendation is always take your turmeric and pair it with an amazing anti-inflammatory diet. Do the two together because there's a synergistic effect, of course, to everything that we do. To me, because turmeric and its extract curcumin is such a powerful solution, I love teaching on that because to me, I need solutions that work, that are quick, that get the job done while I'm still having a great diet that's nutrient dense, proteins, all those good things that we do. But when it
Yeah.
comes to turmeric, we know it's a powerful anti-inflammatory. We know through so many clinical trials that it can help with joint pain and get people out of pain. We've seen it support orthopedic surgeons in terms of the pain and chronic joint pain they see. It's a natural solution for their patients. And overall, turmeric actually has far-reaching benefits. It kills off zombie cells. So many of the different issues that occur as we age to our sirtuins, our telomeres, all these, it's almost like we're on an inevitable downhill path when it comes to our cellular health and our processes. And from all the research I've done, turmeric kind of holds you. It just holds, it takes that downhill path and it really stops that progression, which I like because I've always looked for what do I do to stay young and youthful and vibrant and capable of living out my biggest dreams as I age? So to me, turmeric, I think, is the most powerful tool in the toolkit.
One of the problems with the supplement world
Yeah.
is purity. A second problem is dosage.
I know everything you're saying.
Okay, help me out. So I'm sitting here, I've got a couple of joints that I really wish felt a little better. By and large, I eat a nutrient dense, almost zero processed food diet, other than what
Good
I did
job.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about all these things, but I'm always open to
Sure.
better. So how do you talked about turmeric paired with, oh, paired with
Ginger.
a good diet.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Had an interviewee yesterday who made it very clear that there's no point in doing the positive stuff if you're not adding the positive stuff to your life and diet if you don't take the negative stuff out first. So I've been pretty good about taking the negative stuff out and then adding the positive stuff. Let's assume that people understand what that means. So you're talking to me as a potential patient or client. How do I know? How do I find the right dosage, the right purity, the right whatever? Because in theory, we've got a government regulatory body that handles that for pharmaceuticals. That's a whole nother can of worms, which we won't deal with. But in the theory, if we're buying amoxicillin, we're getting pure amoxicillin at a particular dosage, and we can trust that's the case. We don't have that with the supplement world.
Sure. No, it's a great question. So when it comes to supplements, about 10 years ago, I was finishing my PhD on turmeric and I became really obsessed with turmeric because I do think it's the best thing since sliced bread and it does so much. And I was so evangelical about it that my family said, you should make your own turmeric if you're actually going to say this for the rest of our lives, that turmeric can do all that. And I was like, okay, that sounds crazy. Who builds a supplement company? And so I went about to do it. And you're right, a lot of people can put a lot of junk into a pill and sell it on Amazon or anywhere. And we would not know the difference because we're going to trust what's written on that label. And in my case, I had a dream to change how all of medicine treats us when we're inflamed. Because I'm someone who can't take NSAIDs. They hurt me. I get all the side effects of anything I take. So I have to be one of those very vigilant people who's always looking for the natural alternatives. And so what I knew was out of all of turmeric, only 3% of it is the curcuminoids. And of those 3 curcuminoids, the one curcumin is the most effective at reducing inflammation. And so I sourced, the first thing you do is source well. I sourced a curcumin that was so potent, it would deliver a result that even doctors would see and understand was beneficial. That was step one. Step two, who are you
Even
partnering?
doctors would see it.
Yeah, because they need to see that the patient sees a difference. Otherwise,
Yep,
they're not
yep.
going to waste their time or their reputation on what you're
Sure,
talking about.
sure.
And they know firsthand whether the patient gets the benefits. Otherwise, patient comes in and screams about how they aren't feeling better. So I
Yeah.
thought, okay, first sourcing. Let's get it right where we're sourcing this from, so we're the best. Then it
All right,
was
I'm gonna stop you.
sure,
So it sounds like the bottom line here is you have supplements that you trust because you've made them. And we
correct,
are going to point our listeners to you.
sure,
Is there a way that, let's assume that for whatever reason they want to go somewhere else?
yes.
Is there a way to, is there a way as a consumer that I can determine this is worth spending time and money on, this is not?
For sure. And it's interesting. So there's supplements. I would not buy your supplements necessarily on Amazon unless you know the brands and you have a
Right.
reason to trust them. In the supplement world, so many supplement companies have been sold to multinational conglomerates who do a lot of other businesses that aren't good for our health. So I don't trust those mega companies to make a supplement
Sure.
that's focused purely on quality. So
Agreed.
I really think that there's this new class, and this is the class of supplements I love, called medical grade supplements built for practitioners. And so you'll find when you go to chiropractic, acupuncture, functional medicine, these practitioners, naturopathic, they have a feel for this group of supplements that are built for their offices that actually do deliver a result. So when I need to take a new supplement, I ask the doctors. I'll reach out to them and say, hey, do you have a vitamin D where you actually saw it move someone's levels? Because that's the one I need. Have you seen a vitamin C that actually worked, a colloidal silver, these things? So I am always looking into that group. And even within all those companies, everyone's usually really good at one or two things. Even if they extend the line really wide, we're
Yeah.
usually really specialized in one. So I think it comes down to know the company, research the founder, understand who this person is, make sure they didn't sell to some, PepsiCo, Nestle, like massive company, and then all the ingredients are coming from China. Like, really have this awareness around where did this thing get made and how is it made? Because to me, I want a US made formula if I can. Mine is US made, third party tested. Those are kind of the standards that are really coming forward in the supplement industry for the practitioner side. And those supplements are held by the practitioners to a much higher standard.
The principle is find yourself an alternative healthcare provider
Yes.
like a chiropractor, a DO who uses these things. In all likelihood, they're using, what did you call it?
Medical grade, practitioner grade supplements.
Medical grade, practitioner grade supplements. And sorry to say this, folks, but this is the world we live in. Do your own research, but research the founder, the history of the company. That'll probably tell you a lot more about the quality of the product than probably a faster way to learn about the quality of the product. Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to also insert right here information for Dr. Gupta's nutrient company will be in the show notes. Promise you'll be able to get there. All right, let's talk a little bit. Let's get personal just about you and your practice. I like to ask the folks on the show who are presenting maybe non-mainstream ways of preventing or recovering from health problems about compliments and complaints. Common compliments, common complaints that you hear with the folks that you work with.
The biggest compliment I hear is you've changed my life. I had a
That's a
client
good.
who came over for dinner last night and she's, I just want to tell you and remind you, my health is better, my skin is better, my gut is fixed, I'm not constipated anymore. You have no idea. You fixed my gut and now life is better. You fixed my sleep. So I love those compliments because it's like, oh yes, we're winning at the goal. A lot of times people come with severe joint pain issues, and I pull in my supplements, but also my dream team of favorite practitioners and get in there and help people. I think the biggest complaint I get is sometimes the stack up of autoimmune conditions is so high. And when people come to me with those levels of issues, I always partner with functional medicine. And sometimes functional medicine takes too long. So I'm always going through and trying to find that right practitioner who can affordably do all the testing we need, get the answers we need, and get to a protocol that works. Because I think the future of medicine is really functional medicine that can do all that incredible testing paired with Ayurvedic lifestyle. Because the Ayurveda lifestyle is the lifestyle we have to live to hold the result that we get out of functional medicine finally fixing us from whatever issue it is we're dealing with. Because in Ayurveda, we are gut healing, we are reducing that toxic burden, we are fixing sleep and all the things. To me, I love working with clients to ascertain what's the issue, what is the plan out of Ayurveda, and do we need to partner with functional medicine because it's serious and they can address a lot of those deep issues through diagnostics.
It sounds like a summary of the more common complaints come from people who've just waited too long to address what's fundamentally an inflammation problem anyway, and it's stacked. So there's a reason why we call this the Predictive Health Clinic. We want to prevent things, or at least predict what's going to happen if you don't take action. All right, so this is my favorite question. You've got a billboard. An effective billboard never has more than 8 words on it. There's reasons for that. Most of them have to do with the fact that people are driving and don't have time to sit and read a book on a billboard. As a marketing professional, it drives me nuts when I see these billboards. Somebody paid money to put 500 words on a billboard, and the only way I'd read that is if I stopped.
Right.
You got 8 words. What one message are you going to deliver? 8 words or less.
Take your turmeric. It will change your life.
Take your turmeric. It will change your life. I trust the details about turmeric are probably available on your website.
Yes, for sure.
All right. What is that website?
My website is drshivani.com, Shivani, and I'm at dr.shivanigupta on Instagram. And the supplement company is Fusionary Formulas. So it's FUSIONARY formulas.com. And we made a special code for your audience, PHC. Will give them 15% off.
Excellent. All right. So that's, listeners, that's the way you can just try it out for yourself. drshivani.com. I like that. All right. Thanks for being with us here on the Predictive Health Clinic. All the contact information for Dr. Gupta will be on the show notes. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you all next time.
Are you a healthcare practitioner eager to escape the grind of corporate medicine?
Are you ready to make a massive difference in your world? Listen up.
We are the Wizard of Ads.
For 40 years, we've created dominant brands in a variety of industries.
Now, we're bringing our magic to healthcare.
We're seeking one extraordinary healthcare practitioner to help us build the first national brand in direct primary care.
If you think you could be that person, let's talk.
Email us at health@wizardofads.com.
Tell us why you think you're the one.
That's health@wizardofads.com.